The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business. Right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is hour number 2 of The Local Show. Get ready for riveting interviews with Neal Carr, Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. Alan Poster stops by. He's the owner of Ra-Lin's. Maureen Kaljeski is a certified podorthist at Syracuse Orthopedic Specialists. And then we'll talk with Scott Lickstein, who is a partner at Newman and Lickstein.
Podorthist. That was pretty good, Tom.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
It sounds like
I can't wait to talk with her.
It's like a list board, podorthist.
I can't wait to talk with her because that has something to do with feet, just so you know.
Oh, okay.
For those of you keeping up with things.
Well.
And I know that my feet are just not the same as they were.
No.
Not the same as they once was. We'll get the skinny on that. Right now, it's Neal Carr, though. He's the Vice President of Prime Heating and Air. Good to see you again, Neal.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah.
Riveting. I gotta give you riveting today.
Right.
So
Dale,
I'll do what I can.
Is it true that we have problems with your feet? Wide feet or just fat feet? Go ahead.
It makes sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
How is air conditioning season treating you?
Good. It's been good. It's been hot, as we all know,
Yeah.
this year. Yeah, so that's been good. And we've had a good run of making sure people are staying cool, getting their stuff fixed or replacing their old stuff and getting them something newer.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of HVAC in every town that you go to.
Yeah.
Every city has
Companies, yeah.
quite a few companies,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because it's a really needed service.
Yeah.
Not only service, but the products and things like that.
Yep.
So how do you guys do it a little different? You
Yeah.
know, what was your plan and what is your current status?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could just read you the bio off the website, but
What's it say?
Yeah. No, I think Dwayne, when he went out on his own, he just wanted to be able to give the area just a company that's going to be straightforward, upfront, honest, right from the start, fair, work with people, contractors, HVAC. It's not just HVAC, but it's it's all the contracting world. You get 1 or 2 bad apples and it kind of sours the taste for a lot of people, and they just assume that's just how it is, and we, everyone's experienced that probably or knows someone who has, and it's not, obviously that sucks. That's not great, but so we just try to be communicative, again, right up front, try to be as personable as possible, just kind of try to put them at ease if they need it, if I get a sense that, hey, they're a little unsure and it's a little overwhelming, which I know it can be, just try to answer as many questions or give as much information to try to ease that uncomfortableness.
No one would ever accuse your brother of being slick.
Yeah, very true.
I mean, he's just
very true.
He's deliberate. He's got and you can see him thinking when he talks.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like waste words, but he's really a genuine. If I was you, this is what I. And you can see him thinking. He's not like, I want to sell this. He's like, how would I solve the problem? That seems to be his character.
Whatever the opposite of schmooze is.
Yes.
Yeah. Almost to a fault, but no. He's just gonna be straight up with you. So that's what we try to do. We're not in the business to sell you something you don't need.
Yeah.
Because what is that going to do? It's going to get you that sale, right? And then you're done, and then they're never going to call you again.
Right.
That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to build long-term relationships with people where they can trust us, and we can be there for them for the long haul.
Right.
We want a second phone call or a third phone call if needed. Down the road. Obviously not too often, for their sake, of course. But we want them to trust us, know that, hey, if we do have a problem, I know these guys treated me right the first time, and let's call them again.
So during the summertime, do you get a lot of service calls? Is it less than the winter, or?
I would say depending on it really just depends, weather dependent. If we have a real cold summer or a real cold winter and a real hot summer, they're about the same.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Obviously when we're getting 95-degree days in June, that's not super common around here. So that increases the service on the AC side. And then like this year, we have 40-degree days in January and February. that slows down that
that area
in the winter. So it all kind of averages out. But it's really just kind of temperature dependent, how hard the equipment's being run and that kind of thing. But I would say we don't get as many like after hours or overnight calls. Obviously, in the summer, most people will just wait till the morning, But in the winter, obviously, you need your heat. So I would say that's the biggest difference.
So as far as the government, we talk about the government, putting restrictions or mandates on things and all that. But what's the reality of it right now? Is there stuff that you have to install?
No, there's not really anything we have to install right now. I would say the biggest change coming on the AC side is they're changing the refrigerant type on the AC equipment.
Okay. Didn't they already do that?
It's getting rolled out. Yeah.
Well, like Freon.
Yeah.
Isn't Freon gone already anyway?
Well, there's different types. So there's the older is R22, then they went to R410A, which we've been using for the last 10, 15 years, and now they're switching to this newer one. It's all environmentally focused, supposed to be easier on the environment, that kind of thing. So that means all the tooling, all the equipment is all changing to accommodate this new refrigerant. So the biggest issue is going to be availability, how long they're going to allow 410 to still be out there, which I think they're going to for a little while just because there's so much of it out there. But just like R22 now is basically phased out, or real close to, you can't get equipment that's R22 anymore. So
what is the refrigerant? What's the refrigerant that gave everyone Legionnaire's disease?
Oh, that I don't know.
Is there something that leaked?
No,
the one we're not using.
Yeah, okay.
That I know. Yeah,
I thought that had to do with like a fungus in that.
Was it a fungus among us?
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but so that's the biggest change on the AC side. As far as like the whole gas thing here in New York and all that, I haven't heard any new updates or any proposed more timelines, that kind of thing. So
is it true that if Kamala becomes president, things will get better in that space?
That's what they're saying. I don't know about all that.
She'll be living in a palace. You will live in a tent.
Protected by armed guards.
I don't think that's going to be the case, but I'm just an HVAC guy.
But regulations make things clunky.
They do. They do.
I mean, there's common sense regulation, of course. Sure. But over-regulation makes things expensive, maybe?
Unfortunately, it's the end user that has to pay for all these changes. So it's the homeowner, which is a bummer. So that's the biggest change coming real quick. That I would say this fall, spring, all that new equipment's going to be coming in. So by next spring, ACs, it's going to be the new stuff.
So looking at things, unbiased.
Yeah.
If I asked you as a friend, geez, I might need a new furnace, and I do like my air conditioning as well. Would a heat pump unit that does both be the way to go, or should I just get a furnace and a central air? Yeah,
so it depends. If you're very concerned about the efficiency, the heat pump on the AC side definitely increases your efficiency over the traditional central air system.
Does that mean it lowers my monthly cost?
Potentially, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So the heat side of it is very similar to like a high efficiency furnace you get now. So you won't see as much of a change on the heat side, but you won't be using gas, obviously. So maybe on those shoulder months, the early falls, the early springs, you're using the heat pump for the heat, and it's more efficient on the electric, so you'll be saving that because you're not using gas. So you will see some savings for sure.
Right.
So it's really when we have those conversations with people, it's really just talking about what are they thinking, what is their biggest need, that kind of thing. And if it's a good solution, we definitely propose it.
So now this time of year it's hot, but it's not going to be.
Yep.
If someone wants you to check out their stuff, 802-4287.
Yeah, give us a call because it could be September and still 85 degrees. So
and they can look at both the heat and the cooling.
Absolutely.
So 802-4287, Prime Heat and Air. Thank you, Neal.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Good to chat again.
Have a good rest of the day.
You too.
All right. Alan Poster's coming up next. He's the owner of Ra-Lin's, the original discounter, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.